You are loved, Kerryon Franklin. And I'll look in the camera and say that you are loved. We support you then, we support you now, we support you tomorrow.
All right, begin.
What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are having a great start to your day. So guys, let's talk about this Kirk Franklin situation once again. So Shawn Ewing, Kerryon Franklin's mom, is out here giving interviews and talking about her challenges as a mother, and also talking about Kirk's challenges as a father, because they were both teenage parents. But before I go any further, I just want to give a shout out to The Heartbeat. If you guys want to check out the full interview with Shawn Ewing, go check out this young lady's channel. She was so professional and so graceful, alright? And that's why I'm not going to play her content here. I want you guys to visit her channel to give her a look and hopefully subscribe to her content. I like her a lot. But anyway guys, so I'm not going to talk about that interview right now. What I want to do is talk about the interview that Kirk Franklin had with Tamron Hall. Now, the first thing that I questioned was the fact that Kirk had his wife there.
You like Ariana? She's a...
I didn't say that, Shaka Khan did, but I meant it with all the disrespect, because this is the thing. Kirk Franklin cursed his son out alone. He should be able to face Tamron Hall and the rest of the world alone. So, you know, to Kirk Franklin's wife, your kids were fortunate to have Kirk Franklin in the home. Kerryon didn't have that. So I think that his wife should have played the background. I understand she was there for support, and God knows he needed it because he couldn't look into the camera hardly, and he was also stuttering. But anyway, I'm gonna play you guys the clip. It's gonna be the audio of the interview from yesterday with Tamron Hall and Kirk Franklin, and then after that's done playing, I'm gonna come back and give my assessment, and then we'll get into some more things. All right, so sit tight and I'll be back.
The second tape that Kerryon has now released on social media, the audio is grainy, but he is accusing you of, even though he is an adult, nearly 33 years old, he is alleging. What is your response to that?
I love my son, and I have tried very privately to keep all of the areas that we've been working with him in counseling as a private matter. We've been having challenges with my oldest son for years. And again, as he's gotten older, his disrespect has become more aggressive. But I'm confident that his mother, myself, Tammy, a family, there's never been anything physical that concerns me or even makes me uncomfortable, because I know the truth. He knows the truth, and I love him. And as a grown man, I am still his dad, and when it becomes aggressive, I still have to have a level of respect. I gotta have, I'm still your daddy, and there's still gotta be respect, and there can't be levels of disrespect. But I'm confident that there hasn't been any physical abuse. I mean, we've had therapy and counseling sessions and documentation long enough to know that the deeper issue is we've been just trying to help our son, to try to help.
Let me ask you, Kirk, and I want to get Tammy in on this, but just quickly, because you talk about the respect you feel you are owed. Do you respect Kerryon?
Yes, I respect Kerryon. I'm not Kerryon's equal, though. I'm not his equal. I'm his dad. And when you talk to me, especially about things that you say that you want from me, I can't hear you when you are extremely aggressive when we're communicating. And that's why a lot of times Kerryon and I haven't talked sometimes for a year or two.
I just want to make sure real quick that our audience knows and realizes we did reach out to Kerryon over the course of the last few days and received no response from him. But Kirk, I do want to, because I know you wanted to say something else to me. Are you still trying to reach him? I know you've been estranged, and this call and all of the pain and the anger with it, are you both still trying to reach out and figure out a way forward?
Yes, I think that this one is very painful because having my son record our conversations was a big shock for me. I had no idea that he was, well, he's threatened it, but because he's threatened so many other things, I was just confident that, I'm going to keep fighting for him. And even in our conversations, if the fight gets tense, I just want to not give up on that one chance to maybe that one phone call may be the words of, I'm ready to get help. I'm ready to go back to therapy and get the help that I know that I need. And so I just never wanted to give up on that opportunity, even though sometimes the conversation just goes left. So, I ask y'all to keep praying for our family. I would love to see God's hand do a major intervention. Please pray for his mother. She's releasing her own statements and videos. She's a great woman, and that's her only child, and she's really going through a lot with this. And so, and just pray for all of the kids and for the entire family.
You addressed your fans and you apologized to your fans. Is there more to say about the weight, I guess the responsibility when you are seen as someone, as a role model? Is there more you need to say to the fans and to the people who've listened to your music and who heard those words and were surprised or disappointed?
No, people have every right to be disappointed in hearing me use that language. I am disappointed in myself for using that language. And at the same time, I'm human. I'm a father. And I'm a father that has a son. And I have a history. I have a history of a toxic, challenging, turbulent relationship with a grown man now that I'm still trying to fight for. And in that fight, it can become so difficult that my humanity, unfortunately, that day won. And I'm going to keep trying while still continuing to admit that I am an imperfect man fighting to serve a perfect God.
All right, so you guys heard what Kirk Franklin had to say. Now, if you look at the interview for yourself, you will see what I'm talking about. When Kirk Franklin is speaking and he's giving his point of views about the situation, he cannot really look into the camera. He cannot. And I think this man is so embarrassed by his actions. Now, as a black man, I'm not calling to counsel Kirk Franklin. I'm just calling Kirk Franklin out for using this type of language all of these years. Like I said in my previous videos, this language that was used against his son, it's not the first time. And a lot of people looked up to Kirk Franklin for inspiration because his music was inspirational. So when people hear Kirk Franklin talking like this, you have to question, his commitment to his faith. That's a given, So I'm not trying to cancel Kirk Franklin. And I'm not trying to say just because you're saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost that you're not going to make mistakes. But this behavior has been repetitive, and we can't deny that. You can't deny it. His son put it out there, right? Because like I said in my previous videos, if Kirk wasn't talking like this in the past, then his son wouldn't have thought to record him in the first place. But anyway, guys, Kirk did an interview back in 2017 with Oprah, and he talked about being a 17-year-old father. I'm going to play you guys a snippet of that interview, and then I'll be back to give you my assessment on that.
Being a 17-year-old father, my life and my childhood was taken away from me very young. So when God breathed on my career, it was an opportunity to kind of relive, because now I have a couple of dollars and I can go to Six Flags when I want to, and I can go a place when I want to. And so when I got married, It's like I wanted to keep that up, and I got a cute girl on the side. I got like, I got a little arm candy. So I was ready to still have fun.
Whatever the kids got, he got. Like, so he got them go-karts one year for Christmas. And
I got me one too.
Got a go-kart.
Because I want to have fun.
All right, so you guys heard what Kirk Franklin had to say in regards to having Carry On at a young age. And although 17 years old is incredibly young to be having children or thinking about having any kids, I don't agree with the fact that just because you had Carry On at 17 years old that it stripped you of your childhood. 17 years old, people are gearing up to go to college and preparing themselves to face the real world. And so when you talk about your childhood being taken away from you, I look at Michael Jackson's story. That was a complete stripping of his childhood. I mean, the kid started singing at 4 or 5 and was always on the road. And then later on, you understood why he wanted a circus at his house. He wanted a theme park at his house and things of that nature. At 17 years old, I'm thinking that Kirk missed the time to party and hang out with friends, maybe go to college and things of that nature. He had to become a grown man quick because he had a responsibility. So I'm pretty sure that Carry On felt the effects of his parents being young parents, right? And that's what his mother Sean alluded to. So let's talk about her. First of all, she's giving me Maybelline vibes from what's happening with the hair and everything. She looked like she didn't spare the rod at all. She looked like one tough cookie. Let me say that. Now, another thing that I want to say in regards to her interview is the fact that she kept alluding to the fact that she wanted to go ahead and put it all out there because if Carry On has recordings of Kirk, then she's pretty sure that Carry On has recordings of her. Now, I have to keep it all the way 100. It sounded like me in this interview that Sean did. It was just for damage control, not only for her, but for Kirk as well. It seems that she was trying to jump in front of something before Carry On put it out because she admitted that she's been disrespectful. She admitted that she's done some things that she wished she hadn't have done. And so it just seems like she was just trying to get ahead of it before Carry On put it out. And so she did admit that Kirk was wrong for talking to Carry On in that manner. She didn't approve of that language, but she also felt that Kirk shouldn't be canceled, because of this, because, we all make mistakes, and she felt that Carry On shouldn't be canceled because he actually brought the information to social media. But anyway, she goes on to quote scriptures from the Bible, and she pours her heart out for Carry On. And she wants the family to put everything behind them and try to move forth, right, as a family and get, their act together. And so towards the end of the video, she started talking about a situation that went down when she first got saved. And do you know she had the audacity to use the Lord's name in vain? Like, I don't care. Look, I understand that you're telling a story that went down back in the days, but the least you could have done was abbreviate the term. You didn't have to say the words just straight out like that, right? You could have said GD because it was just a few moments earlier when you were quoting scriptures, and then you're going to have the audacity to say GD. Like, that tarnished the whole interview for me. It really did. It really did. And it just goes to show what Carry On may have had to put up with, growing up. Because both of his parents are living a false life, in my estimation. I'm just keeping it real. So the main takeaways for me from this interview was the fact that she really wants to work things out with Carry On. She also wants things to work out with Carry On and Kirk, and that, she would do anything and everything that she can to make their relationship work. And last but not least is that she's fake as hell too. So that's my takeaways from her interview. Anyway, I'm gonna let this go and let y'all have that in the comments. Drop down and let me know what you think about this entire interview. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll get with you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.